Uh-oh. Is the Suzuki Savage pulling a Kuntz? Woo! There we go. It ain't a shade tree surgeon ride unless one bike ain't working right. Oh no, I guess we're gonna find out. Here I am filling up the rocket at the same gas station, and we already had a bike almost not start.
Watch the paint job, bro.
You should have watched my paint job.
Meeting in the front yard now. I need you to explain this.
Dang.
There is no fucking way I would ever let that happen to this bike. No way at all.
That was not me.
This is 100% has to be your fault.
No way.
Explain yourself.
For every mystery, there is someone somewhere who knows the truth. Perhaps that someone is watching. Perhaps it's you.
After you put that chip in it.
I did not.
Let's see if this puppy starts again. I'm gonna be sad not to have a mystery bike anymore.
Fingers crossed. Hey, look at it go. Number one. All right, got the Suzuki Savage up and running, and Shade Tree Army is on the road. Going to meet Bobber Fett behind the Dirty Shame. Unfortunately, minus Kuntz. Last week's trip up to Orlando to meet Blockhead just did the cunt puncher in. It has punched its last cunt. The 93 Wide Glide finally decided to give up the ghost.
Well,
holy shit.
wanna go for a ride tomorrow? I'm still off.
Dave.
Huh?
You fucking,
It was a joke.
you forgot to put a screw in.
Did I really?
Yeah.
I did not forget to put a screw in. It must have came out. Maybe I didn't tighten them up enough?
Holy shit, dude. That thing is fucking spewing oil.
Is it just from the primary or is it from the
No, that's
oil?
from something else. It looks like your case is cracked.
My case is cracked?
I
How the fuck did that happen?
don't know.
Well, that's not good.
It's really actually a bummer because I love when Dave comes out riding with us, and he had actually just gotten the bike fixed. Big quotation marks on the fixed part of that. So unfortunately, he's not going to be joining us today. He's got to stay home. I know a lot of you guys know how big of a bummer it is that when all your buddies are going out riding and your bike doesn't work. So let me just tell you, Dave, the gentleman of leisure, I am thinking about you today, man. I'm sorry you're not with us. A little sand in the road, back end of the rocket stepped out. That's exactly the reason we ride dirt bikes. Shady part of the road, a little bit of a curve, and some sand that I didn't see, and the back end of the rocket steps out a little bit, right in the middle of the curve. And you know what? That's all good because that happens on dirt bikes all the fucking time. And in fact, for you guys who don't know, that's actually the entire reason that Jessica and I originally bought dirt bikes. We said if we're riding on the street and we're gonna take riding seriously, we ought to ride dirt too, because everybody always says if you're good in the dirt and you're prepared for anything that can happen in the dirt, you're gonna be good on the street. Scooter gang! Always wave to scooters and Can-Ams. You know why? They just appreciate it more. What a shocker. Devin's not here. If you guys didn't know, yes, it's hot in fucking Florida.
All right, well, we were waiting for Devin, but he did better than usual. He showed up before we even got into Elmer's. But since I already took my helmet off, we're getting a beer.
You should be proud. I was like trying to choose what bike I wanted to ride today.
Oh my God.
Wow, you sound like a tool.
White people problems. I
I
mean,
just got back from a trip from Alaska and I couldn't decide which bike to ride today.
I'll tell you, I actually do know that struggle. It's hard sometimes.
so you guys haven't seen Devin out on the dirt bikes. You haven't seen Bobber Fett out in the woods. That's because not only was he in Alaska, but somebody stole not only all his dirt bike clothes, but I think also all of his girlfriend's panties out of his dryer.
Not only her panties, fucking bras, and then my underwear as well.
Dude, it's 2018. When somebody steals underwear, they steal the man and the woman's underwear. I'll roll that clip right now if you guys want to see what a panty sniffer looks like, because Devin actually has the footage.
after some shitty beers over at Elmer's, we're gonna head out and have some nice beers at Pinellas Ale Works. Oh, yeah, the heat's not so bad as long as you're moving. Feels good, man. So let's see if I can name off everybody on this ride. There is myself, of course, on the Triumph Rocket 3. There's my girlfriend Jessica, aka Triumph Chick, on her Triumph Street Triple. There's Bobber Fett on his Street Bob. There's Jason, aka Life of Winter, on the Triumph Scrambler with his girlfriend Jessie Gray on the long-suffering Suzuki Savage. And of course, my personal mechanic Dylan Yamagang is here on his Yamaha R6, along with Savannah on I believe a 950i triple. Sorry, 955i, before I get lit up in the comments riding a Triumph and getting a Triumph name wrong. Well, there's a reason we're heading out to Pinellas Ale Works, besides that it's a cool brewery that we've never been to. Oh, I kind of want to start doing a series where we hit all the breweries in the Tampa-St. Pete area, and I was kind of inspired by what Suburban Delinquent does with going to all these restaurants around California. You know, I know there's a lot of interest not only in motorcycles, obviously that's why you're here, but in all the breweries around the Tampa-St. Pete area. Anyway, I thought it might be kind of a cool, maybe twice a month series to just start hitting all the breweries here in Tampa and show you guys what they're like. And maybe for you people who are watching in Tampa, show you some places that you haven't seen before, or maybe you want to hit. Anyway, the decision to go to Pinellas Ale Works was made for me because the owner and brewer of Pinellas Ale Works, Paul for short, all their beers are dog themed. He came into the Dirty Shame because we put his beer on tap. I believe we're actually the first place in Tampa to have it on tap. And he rode his motorcycle up there, so we got to talking about bikes for a little while, and dirt bikes came up. And I said, yeah, you know, I race some enduros here and there, and I have fun doing it. Turns out he is a multiple-time GNCC Enduro champion. He's done the International 6 Days Enduro multiple times. This guy is a total badass when it comes to hair scramble and enduro racing and anything to do with dirt bikes. Small world, you know, that he opens up a brewery and walks in the Dirty Shame, not only rides street bikes, but is just heavily into dirt bikes. So we shot the shit for a long time. It was really cool talking to somebody who had achieved all these things that I want to achieve one day. You know, I don't have any aspirations to be a champion. Trust me, I don't think that'll ever happen. But one day I'd love to be able to travel overseas and race an enduro in Europe or South America or something like that. It's an absolute dream goal of mine. So that was an easy enough way to pick the very first brewery we see on the Shadetree Surgeon Bikes and Brews tour of Tampa Bay. I don't know, is that name too wordy? Maybe I'll think of something cooler later. Leave some name ideas in the comments. Naming shit is my own personal hell. This part of town always makes me think of Tim Kreitz with all these kind of 1950s signs and architecture. There's a lot of old hotels from the 60s and 70s out here. I ought to do that. I ought to do a day where I do a Tim Kreitz adventure vlog and just go out and do exactly what Tim Kreitz would do in a vlog. That'd be fun. Well, here we are. I hope the place is open. Yeah, got ourselves a little back alley parking. Dig. Now watch out getting that jack crap too close to this fine piece of European machinery.
They follow your smash mine.
This would be a good shot right here for the opener of Devin's Dome, wasn't it? Duck. What? Yeah. Down. Take a sip of beer, Devin.
No.
Devin, take a sip of beer.
No. I don't want to.
You look like you're enjoying it.
Devin, don't you dare take a sip of that beer. racing. My man here, Mr. Decker, is very busy. That's the Harley that he rode up when I first saw him. When he walked in the bar, he was talking to Richard about bikes, and I was like, and he was talking about racing a little bit. He goes like, oh, do you race bikes? I was like, oh yeah, enduro, and totally blew him off because most people aren't really aware of enduro racing. And he goes like, oh no, yeah, I race enduro. I'm actually, a GNCC champion and ISDE freaking racer and all that.
Anyway, had our beers at Pinellas Ale Works. Place is awesome. It's about to pour, and we need food before we head back to Tampa. So we're gonna run down the street to Three Birds real quick. Yeah, it's gonna rain. Surprise, surprise.